hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road.
Well, I was very surprised when I heard about the musical instruments being stolen at Keshequa school, as I'm sure most people who heard about it were. And I'm very happy to be involved in the Nunda music recovery, which will raise funds to help replace the instruments that were stolen. Now, I think people were shocked, as I was, to find out that a teacher was charged with the theft. But that just reminds us that addiction and substance abuse knows no boundaries. It can affect anybody in any walk of life, as in this case.
In early March, I was contacted by the State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation that an investigation was ongoing with one of our employees in relation to instruments being taken from the school. Ordinarily, something like that happens. We pick up our own internal investigation. We did not. This was a criminal investigation, and we were basically asked to assist, but not to do anything like placing her on administrative leave. We followed those directions to the T, provided them, State Police, with the information they needed with instruments, and when I was able to, we moved forward and did what we were required to do. That was a hard thing to do. We detest what she did, but who she is a totally different thing. She's someone's daughter. She's a friend to many people who work here. She was an employee of ours for 8 years, successful teacher, admired by a lot of students, and she lost her way. We don't know why. We don't know how that happened, but that is what happened.
So when it hits, when chemical dependency surfaces, it's usually through some kind of an incident, some kind of a failure somewhere in your life, and everything falls apart.
People don't wake up one morning and decide to hurt the people they love and betray the trust of those around them. That addiction is a series of bad choices and bad steps that people take in their lives.
Creative people are really sensitive, very sensitive. Our music is our outlet for a lot of those feelings, and it doesn't mean it can't happen to other people, but I think there's a lot of pain behind that sensitivity often, and to numb that pain.
Well, it seems that most creative people are also very sensitive people, and that may lead them to experiment with drugs and alcohol to try to feel better about themselves or their lives.
I think creative people also feel that the looser they are in their lifestyle, the more creative they can be, the more barriers they can step over or ignore or cross. And I understand that. I think that's probably valid. That if you're going to be creative, you're not going to be following the same path that somebody in front of you followed. You're going to vary. I think musicians have an intense relationship with their craft, with their industry. They put themselves into it much more, I think, than some of us do in regular jobs. And so the shocks of success and the shocks of failure are perhaps much more severe to them. And one of the ways you get started using drugs or misusing alcohol is by sort of trying to cushion those shocks, trying to manage your life through chemicals. And that can lead, as we have seen, and I admit perhaps in this case that we're here in Nunda, that can lead to a pattern of consumption that creates an addiction. And within a few years, you've got, a full-blown chemical dependency situation on an otherwise perfectly well-functioning professional.
I do think that parents believe teachers are perfect and that we're supposed to be above everything. And in some regard, that's correct. We are a role model, but we're not perfect. I mean, we're people just like everyone else is people. We have We have our ups, we have our downs, we have our struggles. And I think that could be where the anger lies, that this was someone perceived as above and they slipped and fell and made an error.
When things get bad enough that it becomes exposed, everything that's been attached to those relationships, everything that's been attached to that person through relationships suffers. The lack of honesty, the covering up, probably the lying that one has to do in order to keep a life going like that. First thing you do is you lose the trust of others.
She's scared. She's got a lot to go up against, and she knows this. She feels a lot of guilt. She lives with that every day. So she knows what she's done, and she wrestles with that. So I listen and just tell her one day at a time, and you can do this, and that I'm going to be there. I never wasn't there because it could happen to any of us.
Family response is terribly important, yet the families are sometimes the ones that suffer, if not the most, the second most, because they're the ones that trust, they're the ones that love, and that gets betrayed. And it's very hard to recover from that. It's very hard to rebuild that. It takes years and years sometimes to rebuild that trust.
I just say, remember that we're all human and that it could happen to any of us or our kids or the people we love. It happened to my cousin. That's how he died. He was a good guy. You forgive, you move on, you help, and you just support the person. And she is a good person. She really is.
Why do they choose heroin? Well, no one's afraid of it anymore. It doesn't have the reputation it had in the 70s and in the 80s. So the kids don't know about it. They don't know about that lifestyle. They find out about it just too late. When heroin is the only thing that will keep their addiction satisfied. And of course, it won't. It will end up in tragedy. Philip Seymour Hoffman found that out.
I know it's quite common in the jazz idiom that a lot of people followed the path of Charlie Parker thinking that they needed heroin to play like Charlie Parker. And most people that thought that ended up like Charlie Parker did, which was dead at the age of 31, I believe.
So we're in this space today. This is our prevention office that we just opened up in Nunda, and it's because the school and the community has had an interest in doing more prevention than they've done in the past, and because they, I think, feel that there's a little bit more of a problem here in terms of drug use or at least attitudes around drug use and underage drinking. So we partnered with the school in the town to open this space and to have a little bit more presence in the community, to bring us closer and the community closer to some ideas about sobriety and wellness, and to see if we can't maybe promote that a little bit.
The children of our area, especially in the band program, have suffered from the loss of their instruments and the trust in their music teachers. So we were hoping that we could do something. So when the Festival of Music was proposed to us, it was something that we definitely wanted to support.
It's interesting that out of a negative kind of thing such as this, a lot of good things have happened. The event that you're sponsoring through this activity on June 14th is one of the good things that's happened. It's brought community together. It's caused a lot of people to rethink perhaps some of the feelings they had about all of this. People have reached out to us from around the greater Rochester area with activities, donations of monies from groups, from individuals. It's been a remarkable thing that's happened. So really, out of something pretty negative, some good things have come. If nothing else, it's caused us to take a good look at ourselves.
Justin Guernsey did a benefit at the Loving Cup. Daniel Shajardo did an online fundraiser. Also had even Billy the Kid from WBEE come out and do a benefit at Nashville's that featured Daniel Bradbury, the winner of The Voice.
Nunda has always been a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. To see an individual step up and see a problem that developed, for our community and our children, and actually try to do something about it is a great thing. I think it's a testament of the type of people who live here and like to be in Nunda. And music is a very important part of our young people's lives. I have a granddaughter that was in a play, and the difference for her between before the play and after the play is, very unique. She kind of blossomed, and that's what the arts do. The arts help our young people to blossom, and that's a wonderful thing.
Music brings a balance. You have the academics, which all children are required, but music brings a balance to the child's life. It's an outlet of creativity. It's an outlet of expression. It's an outlet that it sets them aside. Now, many children don't play sports. They're not inclined to that area, but maybe drama and music they are. And if you have a child who you see excelling, and it just excites you and it excites the child, and they are noted for their abilities with this talent. I think of the children who've gone on from our school district that have played in college level bands and started their own bands. And it's neat to think, I knew them when they were in the elementary band just learning to play the trumpet or the guitar or the drums. So music is lifelong. It's part of lifelong learning. You're always, how many times do you turn the radio on? How many times do you have a headset on? How many times you've got it on your phone now? So music is everywhere.
And music is so important. Everybody's brains work differently, and as a teacher of reading, I know some kids need to move, and some kids need to talk to themselves, and some kids need to sing and play an instrument or tap a tune while they're trying to think. And all of those things activate our brains in many different ways, and it's the best thing for learning.
Some schools, the bigger schools that have the funds behind them, there's some great stuff going on. As you know, with budgets and stuff, arts are the first to be accessed, and so it leaves kids in smaller schools without that outlet, and that's a shame, because the arts are one of the things that help kids the most, I believe, and create well-rounded kids and make the neurons fire in their heads, and keep them alert and active and reaching higher. So I'm a total believer in that it makes you smarter and more aware and better at everything. So.
Right. And I've observed Mrs. Coffey, not formally, but sometimes I'll go into the auditorium and sit in the back. She's a master teacher as it comes to the choir. You can see as she moves her hands, if something's is a little too loud, it's just a soft touch to keep them down a little bit. But she's there, she's with the kids, and more importantly, the kids are with her. That's hard to get unless you're a master teacher. I think she's a wonderful music teacher. Well, one of the positive things that's come out of all of this is we were able to recall Tim Holtz, who had been excessed a year ago, instrumental teacher. Another master teacher in the music program, truly gifted. He gets a lot from kids, and I think kids get a lot from him. He's been instrumental in helping us getting back the instrumental program, if I can say that. I know the kids and families of kids who are interested in the instrumental portion are delighted to have him back and filling the void that was left by our problem.
Yes, very, very happy to be back. I felt that the students under these circumstances were great from 4th grade all the way up to the seniors in high school. It felt like just a very small hurdle. They all cleared it, and we're moving on. The community has been great, the support from the school district, other teachers, and most importantly, the students. It's been great to be able to come in and continue their music education for the rest of the year, so there wasn't any lapse in that.
Tim is, it's like working with a brother. He's a good guy, gentleman through and through. Kids love him. He's honest, straightforward, picks on me. But it's a good working relationship. We have a good time. He likes Barry Manilow. No, man.
See, he
It's
didn't.
too
He
bad.
didn't admit. He wouldn't admit
Too
that.
bad.
To me.
Yeah, I'm a Sting fan, so.
My influences range from early on Beethoven, Bach, all the way to current Foo Fighters and Coldplay. A lot of the more current music out there.
So a lot of great bands at the festival.
There's Steve Grills, who's a great blues player in Rochester. He'll be headlining the event. There'll be Tombstone 45, which is a great country rock band. There will be a bunch of performers from the school, a lot of students who are now musicians who have come through the music department there. There'll also be the Greener Grass Band, which is Justine Guernsey's band, who played at the Loving Cup benefit.
And also your band.
Right, First Power, my band. And as a matter of fact, we have a clip of Keith, our guitar player, and Keith's mom had a few words to say about Keith's special talent.
He first got into music at about 9 or 10 years old. He decided he was making his own guitar. So he took boards, nailed them together, painted it, did the whole thing, and then my husband put some strings on there for him, and that's when it all started. He got so he couldn't live without it. It started to go, he would do music all the time, always was listening to the hard rock music, and I can remember him practicing and blasting everybody out of the house because it would be so loud.
First guitar for one Christmas. One year I didn't know what else I wanted. My mom and dad got me the guitar. And I kind of noodled around on and off, and as I got older I started getting into it more and loved music, loved listening to it. And no matter how bad a day I have, come home and put on some music and it takes you away from all the bull crap that you have to deal with. So
well, I just like getting together with you guys, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of a waste not to use your talent. It's pretty much the only God-given talent I've got, so. And plus it helps when you got a good guitar player. The bass player sucks, but we'll find a new one sooner than later.
I am really proud of my son for what he's done with his bands. He wants to do it. He has a passion, and I hope that he can continue.
But my mom was quite a singer, and she gardened a great deal, and I spent a lot of time with her in the garden. And I, too, enjoyed singing as a kid growing up and did a lot of singing myself. And my mother would sing particularly old Methodist hymns, that I would call them. And I would harmonize with her from the time I was a little fellow. And if she didn't know the words, she'd make them up. It always sounded good to me. But the thing that I remember was she didn't drive, and she never saw me in any activities at school where I was singing or doing anything, athletics or anything like that. But she did come one day to church and listen to me sing How Great Thou Art. And afterwards, one of the things that she said to me and has stayed with me forever is, Donnie, I was a Donnie growing up, Donnie, you made my heart sing. And I've never forgotten that. And I've thought of it many, many times. When I attend a concert, sometimes I'll just want to sing with the kids because they make my heart sing.
There's been a lot of companies come out support the event. We've had M&T Bank, Nunda Lumber, once again Nut Butter, Poster Source, who helped with all the posters and the flyers of the event, and Guitar Center, who's actually donating a guitar to raffle off at the benefit.
Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, we're just happy here at Nunda Lumber to be part of it, to kind of help promote it, and got a big open field over there. Hopefully people come and enjoy it. I think it's on a Saturday afternoon, so it'd be a perfect day to come back. sit back and watch some good bands. The stages, we had a discussion about stages. You know, we talked about building a stage, and then I kind of had an idea maybe using one of my trucks. And Michael thought that was a good idea, so I believe we might be using one of our trucks for the stage, which gets it up nice and high so people can see it.
We'll be glad to have you come out here to Nunda to help us with this Nunda Music Festival. We hope to have a great turnout. All of our different organizations in the community are pulling together on this, and we hope to have this be a great day for the Nunda here, and we would love to see you here.
And Donnie Hooker tying in the cruise show, that's become very, important to a lot of people.
We just sat here one night and just said,
let's have a car show.
Let's have a car show, because Nunda hasn't had it in, probably 15 years.
Yeah, at least 15.
So I just went to the school and asked them if we could use their parking lot. For the first year we did that in the parking lot, then went to the village, and they were all happy with us just to block the street off and do what we wanted.
And it's progressively getting bigger.
Yeah, it's getting bigger, and we like it.
We had, 66 last year?
Yeah, and we're hoping for over 100, 200
200 cars this year.
We have trucks, bikes,
classic cars, muscle cars, rat rods, drag cars.
Guy from Webster.
Yep.
No, yeah, Ontario, New York won with a 56 Chevy Bel Air. It's a really nice car. And the year before, a guy with a 69 GTO Judge.
69. Well, the one car that came last year was from Ontario, New York. And we hope a lot further this year.
From Bath,
Springville,
Fillmore.
They come from all over.
I think it's a good idea.
We're hoping it'll be a good idea. I think it's going to work well with the both of us, the car show and the music fest. I think it's a great thing. People can come and enjoy the music, help the band out to get their instruments back. Be some good music to enjoy while people are enjoying the car show. Great food. Can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
Nice thing to
I
be
help with the car show, and plus I run a business. I do signs and graphics and stuff like that. Been on the fire department 5 years. Enjoy doing that.
You can't get anything better than what he does. He did all our fire trucks, lettered them. He's painted one of our fire trucks. He's done T-shirts for us, stickers.
The T-shirt you got on.
The T-shirt that I actually wear was made by him. Truly a talent. He does it with his mouth. He does it all with his mouth. He's talented. I've been on many jobs with him and helped him. I wouldn't have it any other way. Don's brush art.
And vinyl effects.
And vinyl effects. Well, you didn't tell me that.
All right.
That's what we're going to do right there. This is going on the canoe along with, I made a POW MIA sticker to put on it, plus a big banner to put down the sides of it that says, all gave some gave all. I'm supposed to do the canoe sometime this week.
I think one of the things that has stuck with me in the 47 years that I've been part of public education, I think I grew into this more so than coming into public education with this perspective. But no matter what happens in your life, whether it's an incident such as we've endured in association with our instruments, in the final, whatever it is, in the final analysis, all people really have are each other. You take all the paper and pencil, all the stuff away, and this is what people have. We have each other. When tragedy strikes, it's we who lift this up, and lift each other up, and that's what's happening.